Hello everyone, this is Priyanka. Now that the PI calls are out from the Symbiosis Law Schools, I've been getting a lot of queries how to make a CV, because a CV is something which you need to upload in order to be a part of the PI process at the various Symbiosis Law Schools. So here a quick take on how to make an effective CV and what all would go inside a CV when you have to send a CV to the SLS Law Schools or Symbiosis Law Schools. So let's first understand what all goes inside your CV. First thing is the contact details. By contact details, we mean your email ID and the phone number. Then your details about your education. For you, it's only going to be 10th and 12th class percentages. Hobbies and interests, extracurricular activities, awards and achievements. And we will have a detailed look at each one of them, what all can be included inside each of these subheads. Now, let's first start with education. So, when we are mentioning educational qualifications, we will have to start with the latest educational qualification, or we can say we have to write in the reverse chronological order, and you can use a tabular form for this. So, for you, what would be relevant? Your most latest educational qualification is class 12th, and then you have 10th. Here, you can mention the year in which you have cleared class 12th. You can write the board name, rather, because the board name carries the more weightage than the name of the school. So you can write CBSE board or any state board that you're from, or the ICS board. Then your marks and percentages here, and if you want to highlight your the subjects that you've studied in class 12th and you want the interviewer to ask questions from that area, you can also mention your major subjects. Maybe if you have studied humanities and your pol science is good, and you want the interviewer, or you want to tempt him to ask questions from political science, you can write political science as a major subject here. That's just a suggestion. You can write major subjects and you may not choose to write it altogether. Now, awards and achievements. Now, in awards and achievements, we have to mention only those things for which we have a proof, and the proof has to be in the form of a certificate. So, your participation in sports, like if you have played nationals or district level, or state level, that you can mention. If you have participated in Model United Nations, MUNs, youth parliaments, debates, allocations, that would make sense here. If you have been a head boy or a head girl, or your house captain, and you have a certificate for that, you can mention that as an achievement for you. If you have published any paper while in school, or any article has been published, that you can mention here. If you have been regular in quizzing circuits or olympiads or NTSC, you have certificates for that, mention it here. Or else, if you have any significant achievement in the field of arts, like you are into dancing and you have won some good competitions, maybe state level, regional level, or national level. So dance, music, painting can be mentioned here. Any social recognition, if you have been good in academics, or if you have been good in sports, or any other field of performing arts, and you have been felicitated by any kind of there are various social organization which felicitates students who are doing good. So any kind of recognition that has happened, so you can put in that here. If you have been great in academics, probably topped the school in a certain subject, or you've got acknowledgement for that. So anything for which you have a certificate can be quantified under awards and achievements, and these are the couple of suggestive areas where you can figure out. If you have these things, you can put them inside awards or achievements. Then extracurricular activities. By these we mean, if you have been part of any organization committee, you had a school fest, or you have been into organizing committee of any youth parliaments or MUNs, you can mention it here. You may need not have a certificate for this, but you have done this, so you want to showcase that yes, you have done all this. You have participated in quizzes and olympiads, or you have participated in sports, so you would have a participation kind of a certificate for that. Or you may not have won it, but yes, your participation was there. Or you have participated in MUNs or various debates. If you have done any kind of NGO or charity work, in your, you have done it. Maybe there are a lot of students who do kind of blood donation camps, they organize that. And if yes, in the last 1 year, a lot of people have also worked actively in in this COVID pandemic, this time. So people have formed WhatsApp groups, or self-help groups, or people have done various kind of activities on social media. So I think some of you, if you have done these kind of work, I'm sure you should go ahead and mention this in extracurricular activities in their CV. Hobbies and interests, that's something you pursue out of your interest. So reading could be one thing. One thing about hobbies, I would say, that don't make a a false statement here, don't bluff anything because it seems to be a nice hobby or it looks good on the paper. Only mention if you have been doing it. Okay, so if you say I'm into reading, then probably if and if they ask you what are your favorite authors, and you mention few books, and the other person also happen to read those books, or if they know anything about it, and they ask you a question and you cannot answer, then probably you're caught at a very wrong foot. So mention only those hobbies which you're actually doing. These are only the few suggestive ones, you might have something different also. So reading, blogging, photography is a newfound interest for lot many people. Traveling could be one. Fitness is again an area where a lot of youngsters have been, they have been actively participating. So fitness enthusiast, if you are one, so you can mention that. If you're into kind of technical side, if you are into coding or gaming, or a lot of people now also own some YouTube channels and they are doing some active stuff on that. So that all can come here. And there could be other thing apart from this. So hobbies or interest, something which which you're doing in your spare time, and something which you're actually doing. Don't write it for the benefit of that looking good on your CV. Because if any question comes from there and you're being stumped, that will look really bad in the PI. Personal details, what all personal details should come? Your father's name, your mother's name, date of birth, gender, languages known. I'm sure Hindi, English works for everyone. If you know any additional language, that you can mention your nationality, and the complete address for correspondence. That should go into the personal details. And at the bottom of the CV, what can come? This is the disclaimer that I hereby declare that the information given above is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. Date and place and name and signature. That's the standard in which you would see at the end of any CV or resume. Now, what should be the structure? Your CV, the first thing at the top in the cap should be your name, then followed by your email ID and phone number. These are the two things you can be easily contacted. Then you can have career objective, which could be 1 or 2 lines. Educational qualification, the tabular forms, followed by awards and achievements, extracurricular details or activities that you have done, hobbies and interest, and then at the closure you can mention your personal details towards the end. So this should be the structure of any CV. Few things that you need to keep in mind. First thing first, always have a professional email ID, which would be your name and combination of your digits of your date of birth, of your surname. Should not be your email ID should not be like coolboy at the rate gmail.com. No, that doesn't work. Have a professional email ID. Make sure your CV does not exceed 1 page. If it exceeds 1 page, in any case it should not go beyond 2 pages. So try and keep the length within 1 page. If you have more data to write, take it to 2 pages. Use a steady font, don't change the font at one place. And so if you have Times New Roman at the beginning and probably you are using Arial at the end, no, maintain a constant font. Also maintain a constant font size. Keep the alignment of text as justified. So alignment also needs to be keep in mind. Whenever you're sending your CV, just make sure you're converting into PDF so the formatting would remain intact. Otherwise, sometimes when we send it simply as a Word file, formatting is disturbed. Don't use any kind of colors. The entire written work has to be in the simple black and white. Also, the table should be only with the black lines, and the base should be white. And most importantly, you need to be honest in your CV. Do not mention anything which you have not done or which you're actually not doing and don't know anything about it. So write only that thing on your CV which you have actually done, which you have information about, so that if anything is asked from your CV, you are confident enough to answer about it. So that is the most important thing that you need to make sure while making your CV, as well as honesty is something which you need to carry forward when you're facing your PI, also personal interaction. So honesty would be the key. Don't write anything for elongating your CV, or for the fact that it would look good, or kind of glorifying your CV. So you need to be honest here. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. So hope this will be helpful for you. I think this is something, the CV making. I've been getting a lot of queries about how to make a CV. So I hope this answers your question. Thank you. Bye bye. And these are my contact details, my email ID, my Telegram ID, and my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.